No, Farrakhan's got us now. He's got the president. No, it's... Wow. He knows that there is evidence in Area 51 that the mother wheel, a massive spaceship, there's evidence of the mother wheel of this massive spaceship.
Yeah.
And he's calling on the president to share the presence of the wheel so we can avert Allah's warning of chastisement and destruction.
Is that the mothership that's going to kill the white people? I think
it is, yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a giant mother plane that's made like the universe, spheres within spheres.
Mm-hmm.
White people call them UFOs. This is according to Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Ezekiel in the Old Testament saw a wheel that looked like a cloud by day, pillar of fire by night. Mm-hmm. And Elijah Muhammad said that the wheel was built on the island of Nippon, which is now called Japan.
Yeah.
By some of the original scientists. It took $15 billion in gold at the time to build it. It was made of the toughest steel. America doesn't know yet about the composition of the steel used to make an instrument like that, but it's circular. It's a plane. It's a circle plane. Mm-hmm. And the Bible says it never makes a turn. And because it's a circle, and it can travel in all directions in speeds of thousands of miles per hour. And he said there are 1,500 small wheels in the mother wheel, which is half mile by half mile. And the mother wheel is like a small human planet made of this super metal. And each one of these small planes carries 3 bombs. And Area 51 apparently has some of those mother wheels.
He's talked about the mothership before.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. And he's also
it's
challenging
informative stuff.
Yeah. He's also challenging all the lovers of Jesus to a showdown.
Is he? What kind of showdown?
I don't know.
A religion off?
I don't know. He said he challenged the Pope and then, quote, all lovers of Jesus, quote, to a showdown.
So like a Farrakhan Pope boxing match type of thing? Celebrity boxing?
I'm not.
Steel cage match?
Mm-hmm.
Someone MMA maybe? A guy is getting crazier every day.
Why? Because he's asking all the Jesus followers to a showdown?
Not to mention the mother wheel.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Hang on just a second. You don't believe in the mother wheel?
No, I believe in the mother wheel, but just not his mother wheel.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to the white man. You believe in UFOs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yes.
do.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go. That must be it.
There you go.
Of course, he's been doing this for a long time. When he first started talking about the mothership was, I'm not even sure, in the 80s maybe?
Mm-hmm.
When he said all this?
You told congregants just before the Million Man March at a Washington church about the Mother Wheel, a heavily armed spaceship the size of a city which will rain destruction upon white America, could save those who embrace the nation of Islam.
Okay.
It sounds like gibberish, but maybe you can explain it.
Well, sir, you can ask President Jimmy Carter if it's gibberish.
Okay.
You can ask some of the astronauts who went up and saw it if it's gibberish. On the front page of the Washington Post, several years ago, a Japanese pilot was flying across the Bering Straits, and he saw something in his radar that looked like 2 large aircraft carriers joined together in terms of size.
That's it.
And
That's the
aircraft
mothership.
carries 440 yards long. 2 of them together would be a half a mile by a half a mile. This is that wheel that was spoken of in Ezekiel that has become a reality. It's over the heads of us in North America. And soon you shall see these wheels over the major cities of America. It is above top secret by the United States government. And if it were gibberish, they made an awful lot of money, Mr. Koppel, on that movie called Independence Day.
That was a movie.
Yeah, but if it was gibberish, they wouldn't have made any money off the movie.
Right.
That's the thing. Fictional
exactly
movies
right.
have never made money, and you know it.
Mm-hmm. Well, E.T.
Was that fictional?
Alien.
Exactly my point.
Toy Story?
Right.
I mean,
You can't
Little
make
Mermaid?
money. People wouldn't go see a movie if it wasn't all true.
Star Trek, Star Wars.
so you keep going to the. You're making his point. You keep going to the space movies,
Right.
Of course,
I'm pretty
those are
sure
all.
they're all true. They're all true.
Yes.
Duh.
Hello.
Sorry, I was being silly.
Go ahead. Deny the power of the dark force.
Yeah. We'll see what happens when the mother wheel gets here. We'll see what happens to you.
Yeah,
well,
you'll be
I'm
right.
white. I'm part of white America. I'm going to die.
We are at least I can only speak for myself. I'm embracing the mother wheel concept, so I shouldn't be hurt.
Can I tell you something? I'm with you. I'm stockpiling hyperdrives right now.
Right.
I got them.
You got
so at any time I can just say, activate the hyperdrive, and I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm. Say it.
What?
Say activate the hyperdrive.
I'm not going to say that because then I'd have to activate it. I can only activate it once.
All right.
If I activate it, I almost said it there. I almost said those words. That would have been bad. Would have been bad.
Does anyone actually listen to this guy anymore, though? Like,
I don't know.
Obviously, he had a following.
He gets a lot of people.
He does.
Like, a lot of people follow him.
He does still draw crowds. I mean, they're not Million Man March size crowds anymore, but there's
70,000.
The Million Man March crowd wasn't the Million Man March.
I know,
but it was still a big crowd.
About 70,000.
It was still a big crowd.
Yeah.
And,
NBC is reporting, or CBS is reporting at 88,000. But still, 70,000 people. I remember it took,
a lot.
It took 19. It took 19 to bring down, to bring us down to our knees on September 11th. And he's, kind of in the crazy kind of,
But the Westboro Baptist Church can put together 18 or 19 people for a protest, probably. Like 70,000 is a remarkable number. I mean, for anyone to gather that many people,
it's a lot to follow a crazy man like he clearly is.
Yeah,
I mean, he's crazy. He's virtually admitted to being part of the murder of Malcolm X. He's talking about the mothership. He's talking about Area 51. Does he have any credibility? Apparently with some. He still gets those massive crowds at his church, wherever and whatever kind of church that is.
Did you guys see For the Record this week with the secret compounds that are, you remember, Islamabad up in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all these places that we have pointed out in the past,
mm-hmm.
and we've said, hey, I think that's a problem. For the Record uncovered that, yes, they are a problem, a real problem.
And aren't there 28 of them?
I don't know if there's
28 Islamic villages.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think. There may be more. And they're active.
Yeah.
And nobody's paying attention to this at all. For the Record exposed them this last Wednesday night, and I ask you to go look at this. It's one of the lead stories right at the top of the page. For the Record and the Islamic communities that are being set up that have direct links to terror. And they're really, really dangerous, and nobody seems to really care in the administration. In fact, when we started our investigation, the Justice Department said, oh, this is an old story. Well, no, they originally came over here in the 1980s, but they're active, as we suggested in the piece and as we informed you, there are active investigations going on right now with all of them. And everybody is saying that these are no big deal. Yes, they are. They're very, very bad. As we joke about the mother whale and Farrakhan, there are these Islamic communities, and they're strategically placed around our country to be hotbeds and to take this hatred and then start spreading it across our country.
Obviously, an Islamic community is not bad, but an Islamic community that's ignoring U.S. laws and an Islamic community that's recruiting terrorists.
Right. These are secret compounds, not so secret anymore, thanks to For the Record. And they are tied with an Islamic group called El Fuqra. And that is a terrorist group, a really nasty terrorist group. Watch the episode. You can start your free trial of the Blaze TV. Just go to theblaze.com/TV and sign up and watch that episode. I don't care if you cancel right after. Just watch that episode. Some really important stuff that you need to know about because nobody else in the mainstream media has the balls to do it. Nobody, everybody in the government trying to make you and me look like we're radicals and we're extremists and we're dangerous. Meanwhile, a guy who is talking about how, Allah is going to wash this country in blood. Can you imagine if I got up and I said, Jesus is going to wash this country in blood, and we're going to be there. And I started making threats against people and started saying that they had to go because they betrayed. And I mixed it all with violent rhetoric. I mean, we've talked about president's got to go, but not in any violent way. These guys have betrayed on both sides of the aisle. But that's why we get out and we vote. That's why we get out and we change ourselves. This guy talks violent rhetoric, and he's talking to an Islamic community, and nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to care. I think you do. I think the American people are onto this, and they see what's coming.